Welcome to all the mini enthusiasts and classic car enthusiasts. Nothing much on the Mini today. I'm waiting for Max to give me a call. In fact, I'll just check, see if he has given me a call. Excuse me for a second. Just have a quick check. See if he's... No, he hasn't. So, okay. So just to let you see what I'm up to today, I bought some 3mm steel to make some to make this welding cart up, and now I've realised that it's actually too thick for my bender, which is just a cheap one from Frost Restorations, and I'll show you the problem with it. What I did do was, and it just shows you how easy it is to make a mistake, I put a smaller piece of 3mm in and bent it reasonably easy, but obviously, you know, I'm talking about a piece that was 10 centimetres long, and obviously, you know, the friction, the amount of tension in it is nothing in comparison to a long sheet like this. So basically I've got two options. I could go down to 2mm, which I could then bend, or I could keep the 3mm and take the spares down to the guillotine and have it locked off at 3 centimetres to make the lip all the way around, and then tack weld it. It doesn't need to be welded all the way around, so it's not a massive job to do. I could just tack it all the way around. It's only to hold tools and bits and pieces. So basically I put this up just to show you basically how it's going to work. But this is the reason I wanted to use 3 instead of 1. Is that it's so strong it doesn't bend, you know, you don't get a lot of, especially with this big surface area. So I'll take this down, but you can see that's pretty heavy, that. But this is just to show you how this thing is. So basically what's going to happen is I've made this frame now, and it runs obviously a lot easier than it did. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to put a shelf in here. You can imagine a shelf across that, or like that if you like. So there'll be a shelf, and this will slide in and out to get out, you know, all the welding gear like the nozzles and grinding discs and all this kind of stuff. And then what I'll do is there'll be so I'll have about a 3mm lip on it. I'll then bring the metal down to about here, but with a dish inside it, so the tools can't fall out. What I intend to do is actually have this top so it's removable, and basically what I'm going to do is put I've got this which is really good tolerance, so I'm going to have these legs that will slide out. They will be the same length as internally on here, if you can see. Hopefully you can see that, and they're actually a bit short. This is why I've got the mold grip, so I don't want to drop them inside. And the idea will be that we'll be on pegs here, because if anything ever goes wrong with the machine, I'm going to have to be able to take it out, and if I weld it all in situ, it's going to be very difficult to. This way I can take the bottle off, we can take the sides off, I can take the sides off without doing any of that, to change wire and so on, but we can actually pull the machine off because it's not anchored to it. So that's the reason I'm doing it that way, to make it, if it ever needed a repair or whatever, I could take it for it, because the machine is extremely heavy. It's quite old-fashioned technology that's in there, lots of really seriously heavy coils. So you'll have to pardon me for not being fully dressed, but I've had the heater on, and you know, it's been so warm in here I had to just go down to a t-shirt. So no, I'm just kidding. I'm just like Kevin when he had his Hawaiian t-shirt on and his cocktail. I was laughing like hell. I thought it was really funny, because Sean and DB up in Scotland must be bloody freezing. I can see they were meant to coveralls and jumpers and things they've got. But I'll tell you what, guys, these space heaters, not a lot of people like the paraffin smell. I do, but these paraffin heaters are brilliant. And for a smaller garage, as long as you're careful about where you point it, because they're extreme heat. Believe me, you'd only need to put that on for about 10 minutes. You'd warm the garage up, and every 30 minutes or so pop it on just to take the temperature up. But I'm very lucky here. Well, I was lucky. I did a lot of work to make sure it was very insulated, and it never, even when it's 15, 20 outside below, it never goes below +10 in here. So with the heater on, it sits around 15, 18, which is a really nice working conditions. But I did this as a joke, took the jacket off, so I'm going to put it back on. Just 1 second. But I thought that was really funny when Kevin did that with the Hawaiian t-shirt, the Hawaiian shirt on. I was laughing like hell because I knew he was getting that. Anyway, so that's the plan. So unfortunately I went down to the metalwork place today, but they're not open. They don't open until tomorrow. So what I'll do is I'll get some 2mm and see how it's going to work, and then go from there. And hopefully I should be able to finish it up tomorrow. And then when Amir comes back, we'll get it all painted up because it will rust fairly quick. I might even paint it myself, we'll see. But this is so heavy, this. It's a machine. It's really, really heavy. As I say, it's like it's old-fashioned technology, got massive coils in it. Anyway, so that's what we're up to. Just wanted to show you what happened with the, so you can see basically how it works. That's going to be this will be a handle on it to run it round, and the obviously it will be down inside here. The top of it will be down lower, and then there was going to be a swivel on the plate, whatever plate I use, and that will house all the grinders and that kind of stuff. As I say, hopefully Max will give me a call, and hopefully we'll be working on the Mini tomorrow, or the next day latest, I think. So here's the metal that I was trying to bend and put. Basically, what I was going to do is try and put 4 bends in it, and use it as the drawer. But that's really not going to work. You can see it's just slid out. You can see where it's slipped. That's the piece I did, which is 3mm as well, and it bent quite easily, but you can see it's quite small. And I didn't take into account how much, you know, with the extra length. And you can see what it's done. This is actually damaged. This is just from Frost. This is a cheap one. This bender, or metal sheet press, whichever you want to call it, bender. You can see it's actually damaged that angle line that it's made up of, there and there. So I'm going to have to knock that back down straight. And you know, so you have to just be a bit careful. It's not particularly thick, this thing, but I would have thought it was thick enough. And as I say, bent that with no issue. But that's the difference between a small piece and you're trying to do something that long. So something to be aware of anyway. So yeah, I'll have to repair that now. Either heat it or certainly bring it back down. It might even be a weak point now. We'll have to see. Anyway, so yeah, so hopefully with the Mini, Max will give me a call tonight. He wants to come and do some tuning up. We'll put the new distributor in and a few other bits and pieces that needs getting sorted out. And I've got it all here. So yeah, get this new heater valve in, a few other bits and bobs, and we should be right. So yeah, that's it. So that's how it is now. Hopefully by tomorrow night, when I do another video, you'll see it finished. But as I say, it's a perfect situation that where it slides really nicely out. As I said, they will be on the bottom, obviously, for strength, to whatever height I'm going to make it to. But I will be able to take it off because, as I said, trying to move this thing, even with 2 people, is extremely heavy. And I'm going to probably do something then to protect this, some kind of guard to protect the gauges at the end. So anyway, that's the way it's going. So catch you tomorrow maybe. Thanks again. Thanks for all the comments and thumbs up. Really do appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.